building collapse prevention bill, the Lagos chapter, uh, and friends of the build industry, um, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the organizers of this event, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this special event, which is to create a lot of awareness to what's stopping the building collapse in Lagos. Of course, we are quite aware that this has become a very major challenge. And of course, I know the guild has been doing a lot in trying to create awareness and sensitize the public. And of course, the government also to what can be done to make sure that we can end or reduce the impact of this. So this morning we are here together to listen to the professionals in the industry talk about what we can do to stop building collapse. But before we go, I'd like to have us take the national anthem before we move on to the next item of the list. So now we have national anthem. Okay, we probably have to yes, we upstanding and then take the national anthem. Do you have it? So, arise.
Arise to compassion, and heal us all the way to serve our Fatherland with no man's faith and faith. Standing over heroes past shall never be in vain. Sincere with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Thank you. Let me invite to the high table a few who are distinguished representatives. I'd like to invite to the high table the coordinator of the BCG Coach of Excel, Mr. Sotel. I would like to invite Architect Bola Arimi Yuri to come. And also CPL himself. Thank you very much. There's QF Mrs. Adenike Ayra. Please join us in that.
Yes, if you are coming from Ireland, we just train.
I'd like to welcome all of us once again to this special event, this seminar on how to stop building collapse in Lagos. And we would go down straight to invite Sonia Sojiani to please give the opening address, giving us the welcome address before we go to the next step. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. I say good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to first of all appreciate the Almighty God seminar is success, the reality. And after that, let me also thank the organizer of this today's event, the city people. The Almighty God will lift you up above your expectations in the mighty name of Jesus. And also, the Kosofesa, DCPD Kosofesa, are we here? Are we here?
Yes.
Oh, I want to congratulate you because you are setting the ball rolling for this particular time, for this particular event of some of the things that we have on ground. And by the special grace of God, God Almighty will use you as a deliverer that will put a stop to building collapse in Lagos State. What you say, amen?
Amen.
God will use you and me to stop building collapse in Lagos State. By the grace of God, you will not be missing at that time. On this note, I'm not the president, but I'm the chairman for Lagos State. But on his behalf, I have to tell you a little bit about the building collapse, how it all started. It became worrisome in 2010 when the Lagos State government, they felt concerned that what is the problem in the building industry, that buildings are collapsing all the time. And this led to the promulgation of the law, Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning Law of 2010. Then later, the professionals outside, you and me, they felt concerned that how do we get rid, how do we assist the Lagos State government? How do we assist, how do we put an end to this particular menace? And that was how BCPD was formed. And the apostle of BCPD is no longer, is well known to you. Who is that? Builder Awogolu. And many of us, and our daddy here, and a lot of people, we have to rally around together, and the BCPD was formed. Just the way it's giving Lagos State government concern, the professionals outside too, they felt concerned that something must be done. And among the things that the Lagos State government has done was that out of that law, in 2019, a regulation was established, formulated, and two departments, two agencies were formed. One is Lagos State Physical Planning and Urban Development Agency, LASPA. So also Lagos State Building Collapse Prevention Lagos State Safe Building Control Agency was also formed, and they have regulations, and what they are trying to find the solution to building collapse. And I know building will stop collapsing by the special grace of God. And along the line, another agency was formed, and this was Lagos State Physical Planning and Building Control Appeal Commission, to hear appeal from people, to hear suggestions, which means you can report anybody, any erring officers who are compromising. But the major thing is that these organizations, these two agencies, BCPG, are just in between them. What are we doing? Because we have BCPG at the national, we have at the state, and at the cell level. And at the cell level, we are very closer to the people. I'm glad to inform you that we have ourselves throughout the trainings of Lagos State, where the Lagos State government staff do not reach. BCPG are here to report and tell the government a construction is going on. It is on this note that we are still telling the government, you cannot neglect all. We cannot be performing, we cannot be assisting you without backing up with the law. It's still in the process. And by the special grace of God, we shall get there in the mighty name of Jesus. And we shall find an end to this collapse. And on this note, LATCA, they have been doing their best. They have formulated a lot of policies. Before a building can start, before you can start your construction, after you have obtained your approved building plan, development permit from LATCA, you still need to move ahead to LATCA. You write a letter and tell them that you want to commence your construction, and the LATCA officials will come and see what is going on in your place before you lay your foundation. And at each stage of the construction, they be coming up. But we have discovered that it's not even working because some people are still cut corners. It is on this note that you and I will not be rest until we get out of this book.
The BCPG Lagos State Chapter Treasurer, QS Mrs. Faith Ezeoku. BCPG Lagos State Chapter Financial Secretary, Surveyor Abiodun Adegoke. BCPG Lagos State Chapter Publicity Secretary, Architect Arile Shere. BCPG Lagos State Chapter Research and Development Secretary, ELB Alain Osedale. Ex-official immediate past chairman, QS Mrs. Adikemi Okusaka. I'd like to go to the opening address by the coordinator of BCPG, Professor QS Soji Ademi.
ladies and gentlemen, and our political colleagues, friends of PCPG. We'd like to appreciate this contribution to the struggle of preventing houses from collapsing, that city people as a platform that we are giving, whereby we can all gather today. We appreciate that, we appreciate the effort, and I believe that when professionals come together, we brainstorm and we come up with solutions to various issues that are confronting building collapse in the industry that we belong to. Once again, my name is QS Soji Adeniki, the coordinator of Protobesel. I will start by saying that today we are here, and what is the theme? How to prevent building collapse in Lagos. But I would like to say, before the prevention of collapse, do we have enough housing, shelter in the country as of now? Do we have enough shelter in Lagos State as of today? And the answer is no. We have a population of about 200 million, and with the last statistics from CBN mortgage institution, the shelter or housing deficit that we have in Nigeria is about 28 million, and that was released in January. And in Lagos State alone, we have a deficit of 3 million. Now we have deficit in housing, we have deficit in shelter provision, and yet the few ones that we have are still collapsing. There are so many reasons why buildings are collapsing. There are so many reasons before building collapse, before the collapse. There are so many reasons that are hindering the provision of housing itself. Government policies, increase in prices of building materials, accessibility to land, several issues. But then, having been able to put the investment together, the resources together, having been able to raise buildings, and for those buildings to be falling, then the cause for concern of all the built environment professionals. Like that is the reason why our chairman has been able to elaborate the contribution of PCPG with Lagos State government, and not only here in Lagos but across the nation. Under PCPG, we all the professional bodies or professionals in the built environment industry, we are able to come under a single umbrella. And that has made the journey so smooth and easy. We've been able to come together, we've collaborated with government, we have also influenced policies, that is government policies, as far as provision of housing is concerned. Have we won the war? No. We have lost some battles, because every time, and it's almost reoccurring, we hear buildings falling, buildings collapsing. How then are we going to put a stop to it? A step in the right direction. City people, they are leading, they are at the forefront, and they call us professionals to hear our opinion on how we can put a stop Today, we have a set of professionals here, and they're going to give us tips to stopping building collapse in Nigeria. But I must say that it will all start by what we are doing now. We need press to hear, to show concern, on building issues, just like city people is doing. We need professionals. And of course, if you hear that any structure is collapsing, it's either they have not consulted adequately with professionals. So I believe I am so optimistic that the professionals we have collaborating together today will give us tips. So they provide us with solutions to stopping building collapse. And of course, the bulk of the bulk might also be placed on the government, on the table of the government, because we need enabling laws, we need to build capacity, we need to build capacity around making sure that the buildings are not collapsing, and what is needed to be done, either from design stage to the execution and to its completion when the owner of the facility takes care, up to the issue of maintenance. All that will be discussed to ensure that our buildings are sound, they're habitable, and they can last the test of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I've said before, I'd like to call on members of the panel to start giving us their own view of what and two tips on how to stop building collapse in Lagos. Let me go straight to Architect Bola Adelesere to give us his own view.
Thank you very much, sir. So good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, the executives of Building Collapse Prevention in Lagos State and National, Engineer Dr. Victor Akpan, the City People organizers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Bola Adelesere, and I think it is embarrassing enough that Nigeria is producing professionals every time. Every year we keep turning in more and more, we keep registering more and more professionals. The Lagos State will tell you that they've approved in Lagos alone more than 1 million buildings and renovations in just 1 year. And you are wondering how many of us are in Lagos that will have up to 1 million. Yet all of these things are happening, and we are hearing this very sad news every time. The first thing is that it is particularly embarrassing to us that the government is giving approval, we the professionals are here, the artisans are there as well, and we are supposed to do a good job, yet we are having these collapses. The first thing I'd like to say about how to stop building collapse is that if we will introspect and take a look at what the causes of building collapse are, then it will be easy to just eliminate these causes and say, okay, that would be one good step to ensuring that building collapse, the menace of building collapse that can allow me to recognize the entry of our National Secretary, QS Mrs. Ayada. Thank you for joining us. So, we could look at it from the point of view of design. That if there is design failure, for instance, then definitely the building will collapse. Before I continue, let me quickly define collapse from the point of view of my brother builder, Majakia Miller, who once taught us and said that building collapse is a final failure of buildings. That when a building collapses, it means it has started failing small by small, and then we refused or we failed to deal with the small failures, and then it came to a final collapse. So, from the point of view of design, and when I say design now, I mean from the engineer, from the services engineers, we can actually make design errors that can ensure, and I very embarrassingly use this word, ensure. We can make errors that actually ensure that our buildings start to fail small by small. And I'll try and get to that also in the course of this discussion. So when we look at that, design errors, these things actually is one cause of building collapse. Another cause that we will look at for the sake of today's discussion is building production. When we have issues, and this, what I mean by this is building construction. When we are putting together our buildings, errors may come up that can lead to the final failure of our buildings. Thirdly is poor monitoring. Poor monitoring, and this has to do primarily with professionals and with the government. And then finally, as far as my discussion is concerned, is standards. The standards of the materials and the quality of the materials that we use. Now, having said that, let's come back to design. That I know, I have never come across any one building in Nigeria or anywhere in the world that I have been that was designed to collapse. I don't know, I stand to be corrected. Is there anyone here that has seen one? A building that was designed to collapse? I have never come across one either. And then when you check it with the authorities, the building approval people, you will find that also, before your building can pass planning approval, they would have ensured that your design is not the type that will make the building collapse. So largely, we have very little problem with design. In fact, our consultants, now I'll take a look at structural engineers. You know what they do when they seal your drawings for planning approval or for construction? What they do is that they are saying, I am sticking out my neck and I am taking full responsibility for this building. There is this letter now that Lagos State has been demanding for a few years. It's a letter of supervision. Yeah. So the engineer tells you, I am taking full responsibility. Before they can do that, a critical part of structural engineering design is safety. Not only is it critical, it is all of structural engineering. It is all of it. No matter what magic or miracle you think you can do as a structural engineer, you are doing nothing if your structure is not safe. So what structural engineering is to give us safe buildings anyways. So without saying too much on, without taking too much of our time, buildings are not designed to fail. They are always designed to not fail. So largely in design, we are covered. Now I will go to the next point, which is building production. Now building production has to do with the construction. One of the things we have found is that The building collapsed, most, if not all, most of the buildings that have collapsed, that we have found that have issues with their building production, they have failed to use professionals on it. That is what we have found. So it means to say that concluding on our records in Lagos and in Nigeria, the buildings that have collapsed and that we could trace to building production problem, whether during construction or after the building is already in use, they did not use professionals. Why I'm saying this is that for someone to even become a professional in Nigeria, that's a registered professional, they will literally drill you through fire. And then you also have to sign an undertaking that when I'm doing this, my jobs, these are the checklists that I have to, these are the items of my checklist that must check before we can go to the next stage in building production. And whenever you find professionals on a job, they always try to protect their license. Like I would do, like pretty much every other professional would do. So because they want to have a legacy, they usually ensure that these things are done right. Also, because whenever things go wrong, the first point of call is usually the professionals. The professionals take a lot of additional precautions. Now, this is what I'm saying. The areas we have found, the buildings we have found that have building production problem and that finally led to collapse are buildings that were either not being handled by professionals or buildings that professionals either turned their back on and said, look, I'm no more interested in this one, you're not listening to me. Or buildings that had, during the production, disputes that were not resolved between the professionals and the clients. So these are things we have seen that once you remove the expertise of your professionals in producing buildings, you are setting up yourself for the possibility of a collapse. Now, the third thing is monitoring. Now, monitoring is from two ends. But for the purpose of this discussion, I'll talk about that of the government. One, we heard the recent story of something, of the collapse in the pool. We hear that it was designed for a particular number of floors. That's what we were told. And a particular number of floors was approved. And then a new floor came on it. Nobody said anything. A next floor came on it. Nobody said anything. It begs the question, did why was no alarm raised? So it tells all of us, monitoring from the government, monitoring from we, building collapse prevention field, monitoring from the well-wishers of the society that do not want our buildings to collapse, monitoring from all ends, and then most importantly, monitoring from the professionals that are on the job. The quality of monitoring, the quality of supervision does everything. Now, the Lagos State Building Control has put a regulation in place where you cannot cast unless you call them to inspect. Yes, it's a form of monitoring, but that is structural only. Now, there are other aspects that we need to monitor that would be able to, even if Lagos State Building Control comes and they tell us, yes, we are good to cast, there are other aspects that we need to properly monitor that, if we don't, can jeopardize all of what we are doing. So I'll try to mention a few examples and it will lead me to the last one, which is standards. Good example is our concrete. We all know about materials testing lab. that when you cast concrete, for instance, you should make a miniature cubes, and then take it to them to test. Now, if your concrete fails a test, that's what we can call like control. If your concrete fails a test, you cannot come back to site and say, okay, I want to demolish. The question is, what if the concrete you casted failed already before the 7 days that you test? And what are the possible causes? Most monitoring is improper. Concrete can fail. I'm trying to give a hypothetical example. There is such a thing as water cement ratio in concrete. And some situations may arise. Maybe we plan to cast today, we are on a very tight schedule, and then the rain starts. And the rain gets very heavy. And the people say we must cast. We are paid, we must cast. And then an experienced professional is not there to ensure some critical monitoring items. And then the rain makes a mess of your water cement ratio, and the binding is not proper. We have had situations where such concrete will collapse even because of the some will collapse while casting. But if there was proper monitoring from a well-experienced professional, you will stop them right then and there. And we are not going to continue this casting in this rate, or to replace something that will make this rate not affect that. Not because he's trying to be difficult or she's trying to be difficult, but because that simple aspect of concrete one day is still. Now,
I would want to see the needs of ability to call on the national president to please give us his own comment. You are the one to have started with you to skip that state chairman spoke. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm glad to be here. I want to appreciate the city people for this collaborative effort. Having realized the importance of a better environment for all, and the fact that collapse of data is not really anything good to our country. So your passion for that brought us in to see how much can we do to get across to the people in Lagos State, and then spread the good information as to the way to build and avoid the incidences of collapse of building. It's embarrassing to all, particularly professionals, to see houses, coming down every time and then. Because we are qualified, we have the capacity, we have the experience to do the job, but you find out that people are not engaged. So, either way, we are not comfortable with work. We have decided to have this organization to see how much we can do by getting across to our people and ensuring that they do the right thing in the building construction process and management. And here we have, we've listened to all the various professional bodies that are here. One thing that is common is the fact that we have the state government in charge of the whole process of granting development permit, application. They are also involved in ensuring the management of the construction process. But what do we have? We have regulations, we have laws. As Nigerians, we have so many laws even outside within the industry. How many of these are we following? There are such a people that dislike to abide with laws and regulations. And this is not helping us. is deterring our progress as a nation. And so our appeal will be that people should adhere to law and regulation in their own interest. These regulations are there, these laws are there. If we follow them strictly, the issue we are sitting down here today to discuss wouldn't come. Before you engage in buying land, consult the surveyors. Discuss your need. You need land. Tell them what purpose, and they can advise you as to areas we can do for land that will satisfy your interest and will be cost effective. They will tell you the implications of buying land in swampy area. Then you will know that you don't have that amount of money like the cost woman has told us. Everything has to be in terms of cost. And so you have the surveyor there who will guide you. After buying your land, we have the architect there. We have the structural engineer there. All these professionals are there to guide you to ensure that your aim and aspiration is well catered for, and to ensure the sustainability of your building after the construction. The estate surveyor and valuers are there to ensure that the maintainability of your building is assured. That is where you engage them. So if you fail to engage all these professionals, the issue of incidents of collapse of building will continue to be part of us. And we don't want this. It will affect our economy, even the life lost that cannot be replaced. Adding to the families, and a lot of other things. And it's not giving us a good image as Nigerians. So outside the world, they will look down on us. Look at them with all the PhDs and all the professionals. They have not been able to handle simple construction at what level. Here we are not getting 60 floors, 100 floors. And we are falling like this. So we need to sharpen our knowledge and ensure that we get across to all the various stakeholders in the building industry. Everybody is important. The labor is important, but always saying it has to be well, trained to handle this one. Everybody is important along that chain. I guess everybody, plays the role for which is well trained for. And before we know it, be able to capture the environment and ensure that people are doing the right thing. One important message that was mentioned the other one, which I want to repeat, is this. We are all involved in the whole process. You have a role to play if you don't want to have these incidents of collapse of building. In your area, in your neighborhood, as you move around for your day-to-day work, you see something, say something. Very close to you, you see somebody digging hole. Just give a call to the appropriate agency. Let's say project about to start at so area. Send your men there to ensure that they are doing the right thing. Yes, you have helped in a way. Don't let us wait until there is collapse. You can see a building that is tilting in your area. Don't wait for laughter to go or the VCT people to go. Give a call to the VCT people in your area to notify them, and that could be the saving place for whatever will have amounted to a calamity. Please let us work together as a team, and then let's see how best we can achieve the zero tolerance for those who collapse in Lagos and in Nigeria in general. So I want to thank the city people once again for this laudable program, and I wish to continue to let us have this interaction and take it beyond this level, so that we can have more people to be invited in bigger space and keep on educating our people, local government to local government, words to words. These are messages we are trying to carry on about. And with your support, I'm sure we'll be able to get the local trainings of Lagos State. Thank you very much. And to those who have attended today's program, we thank you for creating that time. Because if you are not here, it will not be possible to be able to exchange ideas. And I'm sure we have benefited a lot from what we have discussed. It's not anything here. If you have any questions to ask, feel free to call us and we will attend to questions to make it a meeting for all of us. Thank you very much.
Question and answer session. Probably just take our 5 questions. Unless we have more from the floor. Can you just wait for your hands to okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Ben Prince. I report for Citizen. My question is going to Architect Bola. So there's some places that should I say I have a friend. They always complain of the way they build their apartments. They wasn't constructed by an architect. Architect didn't design the house. Neither do I say that the builder contributed. I keep on complaining about these people they call developers. When building, the guy said that he can actually use his fingers to squeeze the blocks. So one day after the completion of that particular apartment, just a self-con apartment, it's the walls started leaking from its bedroom. The whole scarps of that particular wall keep spilling out, both from outside and inside. He said that if he hits the wall, it will open, meaning that he actually use more of sound than cement. How do we go about this particular thing? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll take more questions. Okay.
A curious story related a case study to me sometimes ago in Lagos here, one of the high ground area in Victoria, where it claims stays. And they had a project in Port Harcourt. I think they did a bid for that money, and it was about to mobilize the contractor. And somebody just said, okay, what will give them all of this money? Why don't you buy these materials and so and they just give them the man all of this? The man said, yes, that's to this because of that and so much. So they got started and then he bought them reinforcement and some other things. So they did the first upper deck like this. And it was the man that bought it. He bought such that he can save money and actually save money. But he ended up not saving money. By the time they did the first floor, and they removed the framework, the whole floor came down at once. 24 good people died in this time. 24. And if you listen to the past speakers, you see this thing is segmented into 3 phases: the design, the construction, and the post-occupancy usage. From the Lagos experience, the hardly find it most is that maybe like around 10%. It's always at the construction stage. But why? Reason because, like we said, the right people are not being engaged. Even if you have the best design, another thing I want to bring to our attention here is what they call premature loading. You might have the best design, you might have everything. If you have a multi-floor and you are not loading accordingly, you might also run into problems. Thank you very much.
I say well. But my observation is this: you only talk about the solution, you never discuss about the problem. You only talk about the solution. And there's a saying that solution without diagnosis is malpractices. And at the same time, I need to give one or two things. From my chairman, or maybe the state or my state chairman or the Lagos State chairman, We start by seeing the deficit of housing. When there is service of housing, definitely we are going to have demand in housing. Demand for housing. When demand is high, what's going to happen? The people, there's a business aspect of it. Right? When the business aspect of it is there, the next question is this: do we have the purchasing power as it is? For example, the cost of petroleum here about not what will happen with the cost of house. And definitely some people saying we will have some water, what's going to happen today? They are coming here. And we want to build a whole land around these services. What will they look like? Now, present as it is. So we never look at that. And also today, let me continue. Now, after the business aspect, we look at the professional development. If you look at it, and most of the people that are in on that area, they are issue today. How many certified professionals are there? You can count it. Is it up to 20%? Go and check it. The statistics are there. That's that. Another one is the issue of regulation. We have the issue of regulation that people really don't understand and less in which we still continue. Another one is the issue of material behavior pattern versus workmanship. We have to look at that one too. Now, my senior colleague says something the other time. Some of us in our own private practice are doing research. He talks about the majority. I want to tell you today, what we find out that most of the cement we are using this country or police, they are either slow setting or normal setting cement. But how do we use them? We use them as if they are never setting cement, which happens to be another cause of window collapse. And if we are also looking at it from the regulatory authority thereabouts, most of the people really want to make the public increase the cost or increase the population. But because most of these materials really want to be all this requirement. That's that. Another one is this issue of these materials also. Some of these products that happen. What we find out is that 98% of material used for construction is produced locally. Are we saying that most of these materials are not good? The question is this: the city that once you this strategy, I will fix that aside when it happens. What we find out is this: the good material fall into a wrong land, and the material suffer because I enter the site, I look at the quality of the enforcement, I look at the quality of the use of that project. Yeah, it's one of the top notch. But after a serious analysis of how this request was being used and also this matter of being handled, we found out that the good materials fall into the wrong land entirely. So we also need to look at the issue of workmanship. Another one is the attitude. We have to look at our attitude. In looking at this attitude, we are going to look at it from the attitude of the plant. Like the first consultant said, the builder said, and the said something. The attitude of the plant, the attitude of the professionals, and the attitude of the regulatory body. Now, I want to make this appeal to the rest of the government. I don't think any of the officials okay, like I said, I want to make this appeal. What am I trying to say here is that they should not be looking at this, we professionals, as if we are there or the Lagos state government officials are there, to go and, maybe probably the money aspect of the financial aspect of the get to our side. But let us be that aspect, just the way that we do want to separate it. So this discussion will continue. But every time we are talking, let's first of all diagnose the problem. The fact that diagnose the problem, we can't make the solution. Thank you very much.
Getting materials by themselves. Actually, there's a procurement type or maybe a construction type that has to do with direct labor, where contractors get the materials themselves and expect the construction team to construct. Sir? Okay. Yes. Okay, maybe sleep on. Yes, I said direct labor, yes, where the client gets the materials by himself and then expect the construction team to construct. In this kind of construction, the client needs professional advice to procure the materials, because today we have a lot of materials that are no longer prepared in standard modes as they used to be before. Let's take timber for example. If you are versatile with construction, if you see the kind of wood that they are now using for timber carcass, if they tell you this is 3x4 or 4x2, whatever, you know what it was before. You know that what we have now is a far cry. So when we have the kind of construction that we have directly, but the client is expected to get professionals to assist him in procuring the right quality materials. Even our enforcement, all the sizes have been reduced greatly. So it's an important thing for clients to note, because nobody should say that. I mean, it's not possible to say that we should not have that kind of construction method. Now, another problem we have is that even clients most of the time, there are problems on projects. When you have a good team, maybe a good set of workers, in some instances, especially when we have some, maybe semi-literate clients, and they are interfering in the construction process, they can be complaining about your usage of, maybe for example, you want to have a 1:4 mixed ratio, and maybe the contractors are mixing 6 bags of cement, and then the client will say, no, please just use 5 and clean out this site. And I've been building even before your parents were born. You cannot tell me what to do. When we place too much emphasis on the costs of getting the work done, thinking that it's going to be too expensive. But what we don't know that penny wise pounds foolish becomes the order of the day at the end. If you try to build right, it may be a bit more expensive when you obey all the different rules and regulations, you build to specifications. It may appear as if it's a bit expensive, but at the end of the day, you find out that you have done the right thing, because you are going to gain at the end of the day. Because even what you want to maintain, is it not what you have built properly that you are going to maintain? So even if what you have built in the first instance is defective, then you have created a lot of maintenance issues for yourself. That's even if the house does not get to the situation of being collapsed at the end of the day. So we are talking to ourselves as consultants, and as professionals in the industry. We should also look at the roles that are being played by clients. Sometimes clients always cause problems. Either they supply materials that are defective. The materials may not even be defective, but they may not be enough. Maybe, for example, you need 100 bags of cement. The client may say, please just manage these 90 bags. It should be enough. So the clients also should be addressed. It's not only the people that are producing the work on site that have issues. Then the material suppliers, the manufacturers, most of the things that we have now, the standards have dropped. And that is an area for some. Standard Organization of Nigeria. They should put in more effort in their own inspection, because we have a lot of substandard products in the market. Thank you very much.
I've been doing it for like 8 to 9 years now, and I've seen a lot in the industry. One, we don't blame the private developers, so to some extent. I think the whole board should, I'll ask you questions, because I just want to address it.
Okay, you're asking a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any synergy with developers? I mean, I'm not talking about, because we have 2 developers in Lagos, one on the island, one on the, because they do different things. Do you have what's your synergy with property developers in Lagos? Then secondly, the government. You know, government controls everything in Lagos, LASCA and LASPA. They can't do that in Lagos, and they charge a lot for you to have your building approved in Lagos. You go on through so many processes, pay this, come tomorrow. That's why some of them, to some extent, they cut corners. What is synergy with them? Do you have any synergy? Can you question government? Can you question these agencies? Because sometimes they give approval to buildings that you don't expect the government to give approval to because maybe things has happened. Can you stop this? Do you have the power to question government or the agencies in this regard? Then I was in Banana Island, I think last week, Monday, and I saw a lot of buildings that have been sealed up by Labster, but the construction is still going. And I asked one of the developers, what is going on? They are still building, but they sealed up. They don't worry, they will come and remove themselves. Because you can't stop these guys, some of them are very powerful and all of that. They can stand in their office and they will be building, you can do whatever you like, but they don't care because they have the money and they can do anything. What do you have power at all in? You don't, aside from monitoring, the reporting back to government agencies, what do you do especially? Can you stop government? Can you question them? Can you sanction all these property developers to some extent? Because the way lies with government, they control what happens in that sector. So that is my question, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much to the two questioners. But before I answer your questions, I would like to very quickly appreciate the people who have made comments. First of all, I'd like to touch on their professions. Two of them are builders, the other is a quantity surveyor. It tells us the amount of passion they genuinely have for building the profession and also the industry. I was at the QS event recently, and I will say that quantity surveyors make me look good. I appreciate them a lot because they saved me. They've saved me embarrassment so many times I can do without them. But as for builders, if I do the common noun or the proper noun, I don't know when I say the proper noun, the commenters are both my brothers, and I am the son of a builder. Now, if I look at the common, I know a lot of work that is being put in by a profession that is not getting the amount of credit it should be getting to ensure that our built environment is alive and is working. So on that note, I just like to commend those people first of all. Now coming to the question, the first question is this: the matter of the building that was done for your friend or your cousin, you said, by a developer, and that you said if it hits the wall will break. Let me shock you, that building may not collapse. Even if the wall is pulled down, that building may not collapse. And even if the wall doesn't break, that building may come down. So you actually need to be skilled, be knowledgeable, and be experienced to know. So I think the expression I saw in you was like, my friend's house is going to come down. No, I'm not saying that's what you said. We are saying the same thing. You mentioned inferior only on blocks. However, funny enough, I was diagnosing something even more lethal. Because we were talking about soaking. And it's only a matter of time. That person's health and all the other occupants, their health is going to leave you taking time bomb. And the building may not collapse and it will continue killing people slowly. So you may be looking at structure and there's a lot more to it. Bottom line of what I'm saying, to deal with this situation, find someone who knows. Advise your friend to consult someone who knows. When I say someone who knows, I don't mean a fresh 1-year graduate from school of structural engineering. No, that's not what I'm saying. Find someone who is well experienced, who is licensed, who knows what he's doing, to take a look. And then if it's something, he would see things that you won't see, that even your friend would see, and then advise on what to do and who to further consult. So that would be my advice for now. I've not seen the building, I don't know where it is. and I can't tell you it will fall or it will not fall, and I can't tell you it is good or bad. But I can tell you that if care is taken, they will be fine. At the end of it, they will get the best at it. In fact, if the building is showing signs of failure, they can save it. I have saved several buildings. Several. And if the building is not failing, it can still cause them problems that people who know can save them from. So find someone who knows to take a look, and they'll be fine by God's grace. Now, the other questions. That one. So synergy with developers. Let me start by answering that. You see, we have synergy with developers at the level of VC. On a personal level too, I am related with developers. And what I have found out, I'll tell you just two things pertaining to the questions you have asked. One is that half knowledge kills. Half knowledge is worse than zero knowledge. If you don't know enough, you will cause more harm than good, and that's why everybody is blaming developers. The other side is that developers, in most cases, if not all cases, do not have bad intentions. I have not found any one developer that is building for the building to collapse. But insufficient knowledge, what will happen? I hope I made some sense with that statement. So, and this is singularly because we do relate with developers. There's two associations, we relate with them even at the association level. We read Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria. We also relate with them at the level of RNOs, Association of Real Estate Developers of Lagos State. So we know them in person, they know us. I run into them, we run into them individually, we work together. In fact, when they want to do their annual events, they call us. They call us at times to even come and deliver technical presentations to their people and remind them of why it is necessary to do things right. I have spoken in one of these events. So I can assure you that they too, they have good intentions. The issue I see is what your asked called avoidance, insufficient knowledge. And it tells you how much work we need to do to bridge that gap. Now, next thing you said, synergy with the government. Oh yes, well, we were brought in because the government wanted us to be brought in. It's a long story, however, but we don't exist if the government doesn't want us to exist. Today, I have sent a message, for instance, to the general manager of Lagos State Building Control, informing him about what is going on. I said, okay, I will update him personally, aside the official publication. So on these notes, we work with the government. Now, you said, do we have the power to stop or to tell the government that no, this thing you have approved is wrong? Well, invariably, yes. And we have had to do things like this in the past. So this is a story I can tell you. Some years back, I was coordinator or secretary of Ikoyi Obalejese UCPP. And then, like Mrs. Ezuko said, you just start seeing those messages coming, you know that trouble don't start. So that night, I thought, what is happening again? So I read it and it was in myself. Something was happening close to where I live. They said the thing was in Obaleke. They took pictures. They said someone was getting and stopped this. You know the funny thing? It was just by looking at the pictures, you would know something is wrong. Why? Because the simple structures we did in school suggest that this thing will fail now. Except you have some extreme structural engineering in place. I just knew something was wrong just like that. This is, I don't know how much I will be misfiring, or how, I don't know if I will be talking at a frequency you can understand. When the structural engineer gives me his general arrangements, the first thing I will check is it working? And then I look at the bill and I say, the structural engineer could not have done this. Honestly, that was my thought. So I said, fine, I'll go. After all, it was with myself. So I went. And then when I got there, work was ongoing. I asked for the builder. No builder. Engineer. No engineer. Okay. Anytime when inside the engineer here. Nobody. What do you have? We have one Abalagba. Yes, sir. Honestly, I would have liked to call you a woman, but I can't confer such a big title on this man. Now I was there. Whoever started calling me, God bless you. That is how we ended. I said, that person, I want to see him. He said we were going to tell him. So the guy went up through a ladder, and then they were on the second floor. And then it took this guy like 10 minutes to get down. So we're talking about the really old apartment. And then when he came down, of course, me about and greeted him. How are you, sir? So I would like to see the engineer who's here around. Builder come, the builder. Okay, where are the architectural drawings? I didn't know I was construction. I started crediting it. I said, you see, the way I see this concrete, I can tell that this concrete is good. But I can't see the reinforcements inside. I can't even walk through your structural design. I'm not a structural designer. Let me see your architectural drawings and see what your spaces look like. He said, show me sorry, I'm speaking over. He said, all of these things, I know everything of it, and I'm bringing it over. And I was looking at the Baba like this. I said, okay, since you know everything of it, you must have gotten it from one structural drawing. I just wanted to see the structural design so that I would tell myself that at least the structural engineer knows what he is doing to have done this. And the guy said, well, show me drawing here. I keep speaking you. Let me translate to English. He said, you see this drawing there? I said, I have everything in mind. In fact, I've built it somewhere else before. So I'm reproducing. Okay.
Same problem.
I said, okay. All right. And I opened up to him and said that, look, sir, I have concerns. Do you say this thing has national approval? He said, yes. I said, I want to see the drawings. I am so. I'm from the building collapse venture build. I can't see your building, but if I do not see what I need to see, I'm going to call the authorities. And then the guy now said that, look, it will have been sweetest if I was saying this thing in Yoruba. But I said, look, you see this thing you are seeing? I started working in GCAPA, and then when he mentioned the 1970s, something that he was at GCAPA, that was when my father got into school. I wasn't born. That was when my father got into university. So I looked at it and said, how do I start engaging?
Actually, I want to address a bit as a way of comment on what we have had all along. For me, I think we need to go back to the roots. Like my senior colleague has said in Japan, that senior should go to the school and start lecturing. Let's go back to the basis. Let's start inculcating ethics and value in our curriculum. If that is done, when people come out of school, then they're already half-made. And when they are faced challenges in the society, in the grace of God, will solve it a bit. Poverty is a real canker as we had now. One of the things the architect said, I also have a similar experience in the past. I did a design, and the guy was telling me, I just gave me 3 sheets, but I took my drawing away, and I walked away. But it's the grace of God. How many of us are able to do that? How many?
we should always continue to pray for God's mercy and grace on our way. Otherwise, the developers or the client will not treat us anyhow. The collapse that are happening, so many things can lead to it. Like I've said, processes, methodology, all that. A lot of clients or developers at times, they don't even tell us the truth. Projects are on 3 bases: well-defined scopes and quality, the funding for it, and the timing. If any of them is defective, then there will be challenge. It might not be immediate, but at the end of the day, we will have challenge that can lead to collapse. And I think those of us who are professionals, we have a lot of work to do. We should continue to educate ourselves and be competent in our respective field. Because if that is done, I don't think any client, how did the client get to the fact that they rather listen to a bricklayer rather than a civil structure engineer, or they listen to a draftsman rather than an architect, or an electrician rather than a qualified MEP consultant? There is a gap there, so we also need to work ourselves. I've met a client who asked me to do a value engineering for a project, and to be honest with you, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I would never, and I'm saying I would never design such a work for that client. It was over designed, some things were missing, and at the end of the day, the engineer was full of pride. He was unable to reason along with us. I said, look, I'm your colleague. I'm not here to chastise you. We are working together on this project. Please let us review this. So at times, ego is a major challenge within those of us in the built industry. Whether an architect, civil structure engineer, MEP, keywords, ego is a challenge. So we need to work together as a team and fight the client to give us better and considerable remuneration for our work. The developers, well, they will tell you their businessmen, they want to maximize their profit. Yes. But we must stand firm. If we stand firm, and we know that if they come to me as an engineer project manager and I refuse their offer, if they go out with another consultant, the same thing happens. Then they go to 3, 4, 5 people. They know that yes, these professionals, they know what they are doing. I'm sure they will see that properly. So please, let's be competent whatever we are doing, and let's be able to fight all of them. Then on the issue of, thank you, architect, on the issue of the government, our interaction with the government, I think the challenge we have, all Nigerians, as engineers have said, corruption is a problem. I did not see experience lately with the last car guys. I won't mention the side, and I won't mention the people that were involved. But to me, all what you are saying is nonsense. After so many arguments, I have to come out and say, look, I am the secretary of Controversial of BCP. You know Alaska came into a system you don't know. Those of us in the private industry, we fought this battle. Go and ask your people. Because some of those guys don't even know anything. At the end of the day, I found out there was a town planner who was arguing with me as a civil structure engineer. Can you imagine? He said, honestly. So those are the things that we face in the industry. I hope we'll be able to get our acts together one day, and the society will be good for all of us, so that this building collapse will be erased automatically and finally. Thank you very much. God bless.
How do we stop building collapse? Social media is in my list today. Social media and the media. How many of us professionals that know the right thing take advantage of social media and tell these clients this is what should be done? A friend of mine told me that we are hiding information. And that has given confidence to the quacks to go out there and put up rubbish. Some of us here will know LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Go there today. It's a disaster. People are boldly putting up things that are just crap, and they are so confident about it. And I'm sorry, clients also go to LinkedIn. And when they see that thing, they will believe them. So that when you, the real professional, tells the client that this is not possible, you tell them, no, but I saw it on LinkedIn. That's the truth. And our media friends too. I'm sure Daily City Magazine has a property page. Many of them put up buildings. Come and buy 50 million, has this, has that, has that. When the 21 story came down and that Banana Island came down, property pages, I know I saw those buildings. By the time I went there, they're taking it down. Immediately, they took it down. I'm like, why didn't you investigate first before putting this thing on your page? So the social media is there. It's a powerful tool. It is convincing a lot of people on the wrong things. Many people just follow the bandwagon. You can check me out on LinkedIn. Most people call me like a troublemaker. Because when I say things, I will challenge you. This is not right. This is international. The world is looking at us. It is just not Nigeria alone. If anything comes down here, they're going to be like, this is how it is done in Nigeria. So we all need to take advantage of that route. People that don't know what they are doing are the ones that are bold to come out and tell people that, yes, this is how it is done. I have had friends who come and meet me. I want to do a podcast. How many blogs do I need? Sorry. I can't answer you. We have friends that are clients that will price your fees. The doctor wants to go to a hospital and tell you that, no, your fees are too much. Doctor, if I'm coming for an operation, can I price it? I can't price it, it's fixed. Talking about issues of fees, I don't know what other professions can do to emulate the surveyors. They're in a class of their own now. Go and meet the surveyor in Bauchi, it is the same amount. Go to the surveyor in Kadaba, it is the same amount. Go to the surveyor in my mother's village, it's the same amount. We pay. But when our fellow colleagues turn down a job, somebody else is there to do it for half the price. And when there's a mess up, they come back to you to do damage control for less than that price. So, what I can say is that social media route, you need to take advantage of that route. And the media to tell people that this is the right thing to be done. Like somebody said, you should not wait until it collapses. When you see something that somebody posts on the media, this thing is wrong. Fight them. I have gotten enough enemies on LinkedIn. I don't care. But I will make sure that, look, you can't mess up Nigeria. Because I'm not fighting you as a person. You are making Nigeria look bad. While people are putting up their amazing structures there, we are just putting up proposed upstairs and downstairs. And houses are falling like apples. When the 21 story came down, I told somebody that the bigger picture is that on that road, there are buildings of that height and more that were done by Indians, Lebanese, Chinese, Italians. They are standing. In Nigeria now attempts it. It came down. When people outside want to come and do that kind of a project, they will go and meet LMA. They will go and meet CCACC. They will go and meet ITP. They will never come looking for a Nigeria. And I'm like, that's the bigger picture. We are attacking ourselves, but we may stop ourselves. Thank you.